Guys, another day, another lesson for those of you who are watching. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do geometric series using the sigma notation. So kind of just like we did the other day with the arithmetic ones, we're going to use the geometric ones. Now, those of you who did the delta math from the other day or stopped doing the delta math from the other day because of the fractions, okay, this one doesn't have fractions. They use decimals on the delta math in this, okay? You still got to pay attention to how you are entering the equation into your calculator. Got to use the parentheses still, but it's going to be a little easier than using the fractions. Okay, so the geometric series or the sum formula, remember we're going to use A1, parentheses, and then 1 minus r to the n power, and then 1 minus r. Okay, so let's just make sure we remember how to use this. So if I give you 3, 6, 12, 24, 48, 96, and 192. Okay, and I want to find the sum of this. We're going to use the sum using the formula, guys. Don't just add them up. I need to make sure you remember how to use the formula. Okay, so I need A1. That's first term, right? It's going to be 3. I need R. Okay, so R is how you get from one term to the next. So from 3 to 6, remember, they're geometric, so you're multiplying. This is times 2, times 2, times 2. So R is going to be 2. And it's the number of terms you have, right? Since we got a straight series here, I can just count them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So N is going to be 7. All right, so let's plug it in. So we got A1, which is 3, times 1 minus R, which is 2, to the N power, divided by 1 minus 2. Okay, so grab your calculator. If you got to use it on the computer. By the way, use the one on your computer, not the delta math one, the one actually on your computer versus your cell phone. It actually is probably going to be a little easier for you guys. I know I was helping somebody out the other day, and it was just easier on the computer calculator than the cell phone, even though they're similar. Okay, so remember we're going to do this first. So remember, you're going to go 1 minus 2 raised to the power and then hit equals. Okay, so 1 minus 2 raised to the 7th power and hit equals, right? Then we're going to divide it by parentheses 1 minus 2, close your parentheses and hit equals. You got to make sure to close your parentheses and hit equal, right? So divided by parentheses 1 minus 2. Now again, you can see your parentheses up there, right? Close your parentheses and hit equals, okay? So I got 127. And then you times it by the number on the outside. So times 3. And I get 381. Okay, now if I added all those up, again, you should get 381. So 192 plus 96 plus 48 plus 24 plus 12 plus 6 plus 3 is 381. All right, I want to show you actually real quick on your calculator. Okay, so you can always just type calculator. Okay, hang on, I don't know if I can do that. Oh, okay. Never mind. Okay, so one of the things you want to make sure is that you actually do, it's a scientific calculator. So you have the y to the x in the parentheses. If you need to change that, go up to the 3 buttons and then make sure you click scientific, right? Okay, so we're going to do this. So we're going to go 1 minus 2 raised to the 7th power and hit equals, right? Okay, then you're going to divide it by parentheses 1 minus 2, close the parentheses, make sure you got your parentheses in there so you guys can see it right up here, and hit equals, right? And then we're going to times it by 3, and I get the same answer, right? Okay, so let's go back to this. All right, now, that's what I need to do. Whoa, that's super big. I don't know how I made it that big. Pause for a minute so I can fix it. Okay, I'm back. All right, so now it's normal size. I had to close it down and open it back up again. All right, so let's do another problem. Okay, so I'm going to put it in the sigma for you guys. So we got x equals 2 to 7, 5 times 0.4 to the x plus 1. Okay, do not freak out about this, guys, because it's really not that bad. All right, so same idea. So A1, you know how to find A1. Remember, we plugged this bottom number in to find A1, right? So 5 times 0.4. Remember, it's going up here to the 2 plus 1 power. Okay. So be smart. Remember, do this first. So it becomes 5 times 0.4 to the third. Then do exponents before you do multiplication. Okay, so get your calculator out. So 0.4 raised to the third power times 5 is going to give me, apparently it's going to give me 0.32. Okay. Then you're going to find n, so top number minus bottom, so 7 minus 2 gives me 5 plus 1, which is going to give me 6, right? And then you need r. Now, r is actually so much easier on this, guys. There's really no trick to it, guys. R is the number in the parentheses. Or actually, I should say the number being raised to the power. Okay, so in this case, it's going to be 0.4. All right. So then we're just going to plug it in the formula, right? So A1 is 0.32 times 1 minus R, so that's 0.4 to the n power, which is 6. Again, we're using this formula right here. Divided by 1 minus 0.4. Okay, so here's the deal. These numbers are probably going to be either big or small. Okay, hopefully this one isn't too bad. So now remember, we're going to do this, right? So 1 minus 0.4 to the 6th power and hit equals. So 1 minus 0.4 raised to the 6th power and hit equals, right? Then we're going to divide it by parentheses 1 minus 0.14, close the parentheses and hit equals. So divided by parentheses 1 minus 0.4, close the parentheses and hit equals. Okay, then you're going to times it by your outside number, which in this case is 0.32. So times 0.32. Now, the directions on Delta Math are actually going to tell you to round to the nearest integer. Okay, so if I got 0.5, my nearest integer is going to be 1. Your answer is going to be 1. All right? Okay, let's try this next one. All right, let's actually use another piece of paper. All right, so n equals 0 to 70 of 100 times 1.03 to the n power. Okay, so remember we're using A1 times 1 minus R to the n over 1 minus R, right? Okay, so I need A1. We get that by plugging the bottom number in, right? So 100 times 1.03 to the 0 power. Remember, do your exponents first. So 1.03 to the 0 power. Guys, remember, anything to the 0 power is 1, right? So this is 100 times 1, which is 100. Okay, I'll even do it on here so I can prove it to you. 1.03 raised to the 0 power. Oh, look, this 1 times 100 is 100. Right? R is the number inside the parentheses, or the number being raised to the power, so it's 1.03. Right? N is the top number minus the bottom number, so it's 70, and then add 1 back, so it's 71. Okay, now let's plug it in. So we need A1, so it's 100 times 1 minus R, so 1.03, to the n power, divided by 1 minus 1.03. So we got 1 minus 1.03 raised to the 71st power. Okay. Don't worry about what the number looks like. Don't worry about if it's like got an exponent up here. Don't worry. Okay. Then we're going to, so we did 1 minus 1.03 to the 71st power and hit equals, right? So now we're going to divide it by parentheses 1 minus 1.03. Close the parentheses and hit equals. So divided by parentheses 1 minus 1.03. Close the parentheses and hit equals. Now we're going to times it by the number on the outside, which is 100. So times 100. Okay, and again, it says rounded to the nearest integer. So behind the decimal is a 1, which means this stays. So our answer would be 23,851. Okay, let's go do one actually on Delta Math so you can see that it's exactly the same. All right, let's do this one right here. All right, so we got n equals 2 on the bottom to 28, 700 times 1.06 raised to the n minus 1. Okay. All right. Take that go away. Come on, go way faster. All right, so again, we need A1, which means we're going to plug the bottom number in for n. So this is going to be 700 times 1.06 to the 2 minus 1 power. So that's going to give me, so do this first, right? So 2 minus 1, so 700 times 1.06 to the first power. You should know the answer to anything to the first power is itself, right? So 1.06 raised to the first power is 1.06 times 700 is 742. Okay, so it's A1. And top number minus bottom number plus 1. So 28 minus 2 gives me 26 plus 1 gives me 27. And then R is the number being raised to the power. So in this case, it's 1.06. All right, so let's plug it in. So we need A1, which is 742, times 1 minus R. Okay, so 1.06 raised to the n power, so that's 27, and divided by 1 minus 1.06. Okay, so go ahead, give it a shot, plug it into your calculator, see if you can come up with the answer. So remember, you're going to do this first. So 1 minus 1.06 to the 27th and hit equals. So 1 minus 1.06 raised to the 27th power hit equals. Then you're going to divide it by parentheses 1 minus 1.06. Close your parentheses and hit equals. So divided by parentheses 1 minus 1.06. Close your parentheses and hit equals. And then you're going to times it by the outside numbers. Oh, no equals there. Times 742. Okay, and again it says round to the nearest integer. So I got 47269.67813. So we look here, so this number jumps this one up. Remember, that's a 9. So we're going to jump up 69 to 70. So 47270. Let's go back. All right. So we should have 47270. Submit my answer. Is this the one? Yep, look, it's right. Okay, you got 5 of these to do, guys. Let me know if you need any help. All right, bye.